God is on the move. God is not on the mood. But I'm sure that God is in a good mood this morning with us as we worship together. This week, I thought a lot about the psalm. And in my article, I wrote that sometimes the words of the psalm can be confusing. Sometimes it's like swimming in a stream and you feel like you're going uphill or up the stream. But then sometimes as the waters go over us, they bring us to places that are unknown because God is on the move, right? Because God is aware of who we are and always constantly invites us into loving relationship with God, right? With God, just the way we are. And I would say because of the way we are. Creations of a loving God, right? The Psalms are also used for meditation. And as you meditate upon a psalm, as you go over the rhythm of the prose, the words of the poetry, different themes stand out to us. As I meditated this week on the psalm, I began to realize that Psalm 145 tells us a lot about the nature of who God is, right? And that how much God delights in being in relationship with us, right? Just the way we are, right? I've also been thinking a lot about the Living Wednesday times that we've been having together. And this series has been an amazing gift to this church, right? Because we have been going over the roles that society puts on us, right, as men and women. And sometimes from those labels, the label just doesn't fit. And so we have carved out for us lives that don't follow labels, right? And as we have been embracing that in our conversation, people are not allowing others to place on them a definition of who the crowd should be. Think about that for a moment. Within our group, we have a difference of opinion about gender roles, about sexist roles, about ableism, right? And there's a lot of ableism going around this church, right? We have been talking a lot. We even talked about ageism. Ooh, check my ID. Let me strut my 56 years old, right? But there comes a time when we can be defined by those labels, right? And others put on us what the definition of that label is for them, without asking us if it's okay for us, right? Without asking us what we think about that. Well, at Living Wednesday, some of these discussions have been hot. And I was sitting there as a pastor going, oh, this is good. People are risking putting on the table how they feel. People are risking putting on the table of not agreeing with one another. Some, I would say, have become very uncomfortable in that reality. But the good news is that at the end of the night, there's always love that is shown towards one another, even in the midst of our uncomfortableness. And I would say that those who have been uncomfortable the most are the ones who are confronted the most with a label that they may be pushing, but also the ones who are growing the most and are open to God moving in their lives in a new way. And that sometimes is painful. Because when you put on the table who you are, there comes a vulnerability that can be hard to live within. But that vulnerability brings with it new experiences. The hope that someday we can drop the label. The hope that someday we can see that it really is true that God has created us just as the person that we are, and God journeys with us in all things to bring us to that place of freedom where we can not only own who we are, but that we can look around the room, the church, our society, and also let our brothers and sisters be who they are. Because it is only when we know who we are in God that we can begin to let other people be who they are in God. You get what I'm saying? And it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to celebrate. And who knew that this would come out of my study of Psalm 145? But it's also one of the songs that was chosen for today. I didn't know the words to this song, and I was so excited. Would you look at the last refrain or the last verse of the song that Sarah and Joy picked? I love this. It says, our God is not woman, our God is not man. Our God is both or neither, or our God is I who am. And I would say that our God says to each and every one of us, you have a right to say, I am who I am, because I am created in the image of a loving God. Right? And this is what we inherit when we come to that point. What freedom does God give us? The freedom to what? Just to be. And all of you should be saying amen to that. Right? That you can be who you are. I love what Sarah Fleming said to me last night. Sarah, I'm sorry I didn't ask if this was okay to say it, but I think you'll be okay with it. Sarah said, you know, where else could we be at MCC where some women come out wearing what might be known as men's clothes and some men come out in what would be known as women's clothes, and it's okay. And then I said, and your pastor can kiss his boo who happens to be a man. And that's okay, right? You don't get this anywhere else, right? I am who I am. I am a child of God. And God says, you are worth celebrating. Let's sing this song. Come on, Macon, this means you. Here we go.
Still my being.
So with that freedom sometimes comes a reality of life that we don't understand. It brings pain, it brings brokenness. But the greatness of God is that God does not forget that. God embraces that. Because God says to us, life is about growing. Life is about the essence of coming more of who I created you to be. It's like, who are we in our becoming, right? If we only settled on the past, we would stay in the brokenness. But when we focus on what's happening now, we have the opportunity to live through what has brought us to our place of brokenness and change that to go into freedom. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, it is well with my soul. Because through sometimes our brokenness, all the time, God brings healing. Let's sing. Now, you guys, if you don't want to stand up, you don't have to. But I want you to feel free to stand if you want, right? All right, let's just put that out there. And David's choice of a song, morning has broken. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Do you ever realize what happens in the morning? You go out and experience a whole new day, reminding us that no matter what our plot in life is, that we have another day to live and experience the holiness of God. And that we are given that in a way that brings us to making a choice, right? Of opening the day and letting God come in to do something new. Now this is what I believe. God's going to come in. one way or another. Right? Because you tell me when you're upset. Some of you come in and said, I did not want to be working on this right now. And God says it's time. And I'm mad at that. It's like, well, go ahead. You're either going to surrender to God or not. Right? But that the new day brings a new reality is something that we don't want to miss as people of God. Because that new reality gives us a glimmer of hope. Gives us a glimmer of what God has given us so that we can share with others. Morning has broken. Let's sing. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for the singing, fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's dew falls, sunlight from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the red garden, strong in completeness, where his feet bless. Bright is the sunlight, bright is the morning, born of the morning, he is away. Praise every nation, praise every morning, God's recreation of we are the recreation of God, right? And when we do not let people put labels on us, any kind of label on us, then we are really free to be the people of God, just the way we are. Amen? Amen. And then comes a responsibility that we go out and share that message with others, right? Now, I am not one that believes that you do it this way. Knock, knock, knock. Hello, do you know Jesus? Please don't be doing that. Because it can be offensive, right? It can be offensive to people who experience God in a different way. It can be offensive to people who experience Spirit, the Holy One, the Divine One, in a different way. And we do not want to be offensive people. But we do want to be people who help others live in freedom, who help others know that it's okay to be just who they are. Because just who they are is a creation of the Divine One, a creation to be celebrated, a creation to be loved, a creation to be respected. And as we live into that reality for ourselves, we can't help but give it away. Jenny was so excited when I said, oh, we need to do Freely, Freely. She goes, oh, that's my favorite song. And, right, she did it just that way, right? And how many of us get excited about telling others about this freedom that God has brought us to? Sometimes it's just an invitation to come and experience church and be in community. Whatever it is, grab hold of it and make it real. Freely, freely, you have received. Freely, freely, give. the people that God has created us to be, we will experience life, right? Like this. Like those waters rolling over us. And I think that the goal needs to be to invite God in, to experience all that God has for us. And when we get to the whirlpools, when we think that we're sinking, to realize that God lifts us up, always. God lifts us up to be the people who bring the word of good news, the good news of peace, of freedom, of wholeness, and celebrating being just who you are. Are you getting the theme of this? Yes. Celebrating just who you are and letting life happen. And try so much not to be overwhelmed. William is going to come. William is new among us. We're going to finish the sermon today. William is going to sing this song. And the dominant chorus is, and he will raise you up so that you can fly like eagles. We started with the imagery of an eagle as our mother, an eagle as our father. The question I have for you that I want to leave with you this morning is, can you let God raise you up in a new way, in a way that brings honor and glory to God, for you to be right now in this place exactly who you are called to be and who God wants you to be. So will you pray and sing?
God's given a command to guard you in all of your ways.
way.